Introducing LandVal, a data-driven online decision support system for hotel site selection and investment. Let us take a look at the product demonstration for LandVal. LandVal offers all of its services through a comprehensive web application that can be accessed through the URL of landval.co. Here, we provide services such as the Land Valuator service, the Tourism Property Listing service, the posting of an ad, and the information portal to answer investor questions. Let's take a look at each of these services one by one. The Tourism Property Valuator can be used to analyze any property for a potential hotel to be constructed. Here we see the Galle District, one of the tourist hubs of the country. If I want to construct a hotel in the future, I can select the location by dropping the pin where my land is going to be and provide some basic information about that property, such as what kind of beach access does that have, what kind of hotel am I going to build, and what kind of features am I going to provide in that hotel, and click on the Analyze button. Then our system will collect surrounding data from Google's APIs and provide a valuation for that land based on 4 criteria. Here we see that we have received the valuation for that land. We analyzed a location based on attraction, accessibility, popularity, and demand. With attraction, we use a machine learning model to predict the location rating guests will provide for that location. And we also give an analysis of the number of surrounding restaurants, cafes, ATMs, and the distance to city center. With accessibility, we measure the number of transport hubs, the parking zones, gas stations, and the distance to city center to provide an accessibility rating for that location. And with popularity, we consider the surrounding competition and the nearby hotels to give a popularity rating. And finally, the demand is considered for the region and we give a demand rating for that location as well. If the user wants to access more information regarding any of these features, they can click on it and receive the information about the restaurants, the cafes, and the ATMs in that surrounding vicinity. Similarly, with accessibility, they can view what are the transport hubs and the parking areas and what are the transit hubs surrounding that place for tourists to arrive. And when you consider the popularity, we provide the nearest 20 hotels with feedback with what users are saying about them so that investors can gain competitor insight and competitor analysis. We also list the competition in the surrounding vicinity for a potential hotel constructed at that location. And finally, we provide a tourist demand forecast for that region based on past tourist arrival data and provide a typical demand for the upcoming year, which the investors can use to predict the tourism inflow to that region. LandVal also provides a tourism property listing service to connect investors with commercial real estate sellers. Investors can click on any land and view more information. The properties listing contain a typical analysis for hotel construction and how successful it would be in that location. This analysis is typical for a 1-star hotel. If the investor has an idea of what hotel they are going to build, they can customize this based on their requirement by clicking on this button and go into our valuator and customizing the parameters for the construction of the hotel. LandVal has also integrated Google Street View for each of the property listings so the user can explore the property in real time in 3D using Google Street View. Finally, LandVal provides an information portal that answers investors' questions based on government regulations and guidelines. This information portal is based on documents published by the Sri Lanka Tourist Development Authority and allows a platform to query these documents based on natural language. For instance, I can simply query the minimum size of a bedroom. And as you can see, LandVal provides the answer as 30 square kilometers and the document title as Guidelines for Boutique Hotels and the paragraph number that mentions the information. This works for variations of the same question. Because we use natural language processing to process the questions. As you can see, variations of the same question provides the same answer. This answer comes from the Ecolodge guidelines published by the Sri Lanka Tourist Development Authority, and LandVal searches this document and finds this paragraph through natural language processing and provides the answer to the user. This prevents the user from having to go through the entire document, and it also works for very specific questions like how do you process kitchen waste water. And as you can see, the answer is provided as through an effective fact wrap, and the guidelines are given and more information about it is given for further reference. And that brings us to the end of our presentation. LandVal, analyze, invest, conquer.